happy Halloween, everyone. It is still the best time of the year. Although I won't lie, Walmart around here has already taken down most of the Halloween stuff and put up Christmas. I think we're going to completely skip Thanksgiving this year because, I have seen so much Christmas crap. And I'm just like, no, go back. I can't even get freaking Halloween candy right now. And at time of recording this is a Tuesday. We ain't even at Halloween yet. And so I'm agitated about that. But the weather seems to get the memo. Currently in Arkansas it is cold, it is dreary, it is rainy. And at least in parts near me they're calling for sleet on Halloween, which, I'm sorry, I'm originally from South Arkansas, where Halloween is, it can be dreary, but it's like 70 degrees. Half the time you're having a heat stroke in your costume. So to be worried about sleet right now is just absolutely crazy. And I don't want to deal with it. I would really just like to stick with Halloween. But then just blink and, November 1st is actually spring and, it's thawing. Because up here it gets way too much snow for my taste, but that's why I figured for this week's book, I'd read one that I have technically read before, and that's the Clackity by Lora Senf. And yeah, it's another kiddie book, but I'm sorry, if the writing is done well, then I'll read children's novels all day. And so I've technically read this last year and got the box set for my husband for Christmas, because he really enjoyed it. And, but I never finished the series, so I figured this would be a great way to jump back in, and man, not many books can stand a second read. But this one, it was just as interesting as the first time around, and arguably more so, because this chick, she says this is her first book, and she's a Bram Stoker award winner. But for a first-time novel, this is really good. It's got some really deep, just layering and layers of plot. I'm not into, I think the word's mysticism, but apparently she's drawn on from various religions. I'm going to put the word up here because technically this is my husband's forte, but he said that she's actually very well read and very well researched, and I'll take his word on it. But I just found it so enjoyable. So I'll give you a quick plot rundown, and then I'll just chatter on until coffee's done perking and Hubs gets back from work. So that's my time limit for this. Anyway, so basically you have this little girl named Evelyn Von Wraith, or Wrath. I think it's Wraith. I think Wraith sounds better. She is 12 years old and lives with her Aunt Desdemona because her parents disappeared after a house fire. Their bodies were never recovered. They disappeared, but as far as the government's concerned, and they're dead, you're going to go live with your aunt. Thankfully, we are not having Harry Potter vibes over here, and the aunt is absolutely cool. The aunt lives in a place called Blight Harbor, where the paranormal is just normal. Everyone's got a house ghost. The aunt runs a little advice column piece in the newspaper, Dear Desdemona, hey, my poltergeist is having this problem, or hey, I just moved in here, how do I deal with whatever? And she also travels around and just basically fixes people's ghost problems. Not in the Ghostbuster way, but in hey, you accidentally pissed off the former owner, move your china cabinet 2 inches to the left. And it's cute and it's fun, and she doesn't treat Evelyn like the annoying little kid, because all the books I grew up with had the hero or the heroine always just completely Harry Pottered. Everyone was some version of the Dursleys. But anyway, Evelyn over here, she's doing some volunteer work at the library that is run by an actual witch named Lily, who is varying shades of beige. That'll be somewhat important later. But anyway, she works there. Everything is relatively happy, except for Evelyn obviously has panic attacks. Because, come on, your parents disappeared after a house fire. I would have panic attacks too. And I will stop here and say what I really love about Lora Senf's work is the fact that yes, the main character has a panic attack, and that is a very real thing throughout the entire novel. That is an active obstacle that she deals with at every point. It's not something that's just brought up when it's plot convenient. I'm talking this is a legitimate debilitating issue with this character that she doesn't 100% overcome. It's not like she snapped her fingers and said, I choose to not have panic attacks. This character, she doesn't get over them. She learns how to deal and push through, but she is not cured by the end of the book. And I love that. I know I compare everything to the Lake House, but this is a great side-by-side comparison. Evelyn in this book is 12. Claire in the Lake House was 17. Both of them having some variation of a panic disorder. And Claire's only ever popped up when convenient to the plotline. And it was, it was always just, it did not feel like a real thing. With Evelyn's panic, it's there, it's real. It is something she struggles with every single page. But I'll go back to the plot. Anyway, everything's tolerably well until she notices, she checks her aunt's calendar online and notices that her aunt's going to the abattoir. I'm going to mispronounce it. I was not a French major in college. But it is basically the slaughterhouse, and it's been old, it's abandoned, It was abandoned after this guy named John Jeffrey Pope committed several murders and disappeared. Well, she thinks it's cool because she's, like us dear readers over here, she's into all things creepy, and it's a ghost town, literally. Why not? So she jumps on her bike real quick, says bye to Lily, who's teaching her herbalism, and pedals over across town to see Desdemona and to go there. Well, she steps foot in it and quickly realizes, or steps foot in the abattoir, and realizes rather quickly that, oh crap, this ain't Casper. Because she steps in and it doesn't go Amityville Horror like you see it or anything. It's just, you step in the room and something is really freaking wrong. And there are these birds that are on the wall that have not been painted. Nothing man-made has put them there, and Des is trying to figure out why they're there. Because sparrows are, generally speaking, they're there to ward off evil or to keep evil trapped. And she's like, I don't know what's going on here, but it can't be good. Well, they get really freaked out, and the scene in the book is just perfect suspense. It's just perfect suspense. And you feel like, I'm sorry, I'm a grown woman. But when that scene came up, and I'm not going to spoil it for you, it was just a moment of, oh, crap. So they get out of the slaughterhouse, and Evelyn convinces Des to take her back to the library so she can just work off all this negativity. So Des does it. Evelyn goes to the library, and then, of course, instead of actually, doing proper work to clear her head, she promptly does a deep dive into the murder and the murders that took place there so she could be all caught up on what's going on. And Des calls Lily, because Lily and Des are like best friends, and has her send Evelyn home early because, well, Des is freaked out. Which you have to understand in this world, Des is pretty chill. She's like that really cool aunt. So for her to be freaked out and worried, there's something up. And so Evie gets home, and Evie has this really pretty copper hair, but she's always wanting to cut it. And I love this scene because the aunt's very loving, and for a long time has held off on it, but due to what happened in the abattoir, she's like, screw it. A big part of being brave is looking the part, and she cuts her hair like Evie's been wanting. It's shaved on the sides and long on the top, and she gets this really heavy silver chain because also silver keeps away evil. And she teaches her how to do her eyeliner, and it's not this, it's not this training montage. This isn't, her turning into Laura Croft or anything. No, it's just the aunt. You don't know until later, but you realize it's the aunt's way of going, I know I'm about to go step into a dangerous situation and I might not come back. So she's trying to make sure that Evie has a good memory of her, and when she leaves is brave. But Evie, of course, doesn't realize this until the next day when she sleeps in because Des didn't wake her up, and she realizes, oh crud, my aunt's going back to that place again to try to get rid of whatever's going on. And she's going on. So of course, Evie speeds down there on her bike, gets there just in time to see her aunt get snatched by the Clackity and drug off. I don't think she was snatched by the Clackity per se. It's not strictly said how it happens, but the aunt gets disappeared. And she's whisked away into this alternate dimension, and Evie over here is absolutely terrified, and the Clackity comes down, and you realize he is this abomination of just teeth and arms and fingers, and really freaking creepy to me anyway. And he speaks in riddles, and very long the story short is he's like, if you can survive these 7 houses on the other side, get your aunt and get back across with the killer ghost on your tail and bring me the killer ghost, I will let y'all out and let you go back. So Evie has no choice because the other option is Clackity will just eat her. And so as she's trying to decide what to do, she backs into this wall, and one of the sparrows leaves the wall and goes onto her like a tattoo. And of course it is a ward, it's a protection. And the Clackity can't make a bargain with her and can't touch her because of the bird, which she agrees to go get John Jeffrey Pope and bring him back, but since the bird is there, they can't have a binding contract, which is important. And I don't want to spoil all the book, but basically every single house, it's a little bit of her psyche being shown, a little bit of her own fears and her facing up, and a whole lot of you seeing that she is a very flawed character and seeing her overcome it, but it's not overcoming it in the really, girly girl kind of the way. It's hard, it's rough, she fails. She gets back up, she's saved. You realize that the things in the other world, most of them aren't evil, but they are other. And I think Lora Senf did a beautiful job at portraying otherness. Because this was just, I can't describe it to y'all. It is just so good. It was just so weird and out of left field and endearing, and I mean, I love every bit of it, and I am very happy I own a physical copy of this book because I do think I will be rereading it every year. And if I ever have kids, I'm so going to get them into this series because it is good. And it's a complete series for those of y'all who want it. I mean, it's a 3-book series. I have not read book 2 and 3 yet, and I want to. And I just think that overall, this was a story where trauma was done right, where it was given room to breathe and grow and shape the person. And the heroine she wasn't a Mary Sue. I found Evie just super interesting. She was not girl boss. She just, and the entire story is just her. The most she has for a companion is the sparrow on her. And it doesn't talk. There's a little bit of maybe it's speaking to her in her mind, but this entire book is told from her perspective, and never once did I find myself bored. And I think that is just absolutely perfect. So, I know I had a whole direction I was going to go with this and give you all this real nice, fancy breakdown of the book and this and that, but I can't lie. I mean, I'm a chatterbox, and for me, it was a good book. And I would recommend it to anyone because I don't know what the reading level on this actually was. I mean, I'm sure you could give it to a 5th grader because this was in the juvenile section of the library once again. But at the same time, it did not feel dumbed down. There were problems there. Everyone had them. There was legitimate stakes, and I loved every bit of it. I thought the entire book was well written, and it actually has made me really start looking into children's horror or paranormal suspense, because I'd classify this as more as a paranormal thriller, because there was suspense, there was scary stuff, but it is also a countdown, beat the clock scenario, and it was just fun. And when you think she got out, Lora, she does get out, but I mean, when you think the story is wrapped up, the author just throws you another curveball and another curveball, and it is just so wonderful. And I want to read a lot from this lady. I hope she continues to write. I hope she really writes more Blight Harbor, because I would just eat that up. And I mean, I don't usually keep tabs on many authors, but I would definitely say go out and read this. Give this a shot. This is the quintessential Halloween book. It is also a great Summerween book. I mean, it could even be considered a beach read, because technically it's a harbor. So yeah, that's my review for the Clackity. I really look forward to coming into book 2, because there's just so much I like that I don't want to spoil, but I'm also like, I want y'all to know it is really, really good. So give it a shot, and if you want me to chatter more about it, I will. Right now, I just know that I'm pretty sure I heard my husband's truck door slam, and I need to make sure that dinner gets pulled out of the oven. So, like, subscribe, and share. Comment if you want more. Let me know if you want me to do more just rambles, or if you want me to try to focus in. And happy Halloween, and I will see you for my November book haul. I don't think there will be many turkeys involved here, because I won't lie, I picked up a few more horror books, because apparently that's what I'm into. And next video might even be a breakdown of why I'm here talking into a camera in my spare bedroom. So, I'll catch y'all later.